So, are we going to talk about the message that we got in the old group chat last night? Or the series of messages?
On air. Yeah, fuck it, we can.
Just don't name drop.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, dude, I saw that, and I was just kind of like... At first, I saw like a long string of messages, and I was like, oh shit, is there like some sort of emergency right now? And then I guess you could say that.
I guess.
But I looked, and I was kind of like, I don't know... It's like, I don't really know how to respond to this. You know what I mean?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Saw it, and I was like, what the actual fuck did I just read?
Yeah, like for context, I guess we could say, like to the crowd, the gist of it, this long message from our friend that we're talking about in like an old group chat that we don't use as much anymore, was basically just like, it was basically just like a dissertation about how our friend was like bleeding out of his ass. And we were kind of like, I just was like, I don't know how to respond to this. This is like a lot right now.
It had far more detail than I was wanting.
Yeah. It was like, if he would have just said that as like a one-liner, I'd be like, yeah, dude, you should probably like go get that checked out or something. But there was so much excruciating detail that I was kind of like, okay, is this like a call for help, or is this like you're working on some new material for your comedy set? I was like, I don't really like, this is just too... It was like sarcastic, but also kind of like, yeah, no, but seriously,
I don't think it would fit with either.
I don't know. Yeah,
like,
it was kind of
bad.
It was rough.
I was like, why did I have to read this?
I know. I had the same thought. I was like, this is just a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it just
And Peyton read like one message over my shoulder. She said, "What the fuck?" I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like that's more the natural response.
Like, read the rest of this. I'm like, I don't give a like. Read the rest of this, and I had to read it, so I'm making you read it. Like, this is awful.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, and I was not comfortable. I was like, I feel like a boundary's been crossed. I know it was just a text, but I feel like a boundary's been crossed that I didn't want crossed.
I just kind of like, it was like, I don't know. It was one of those things where like, I could see somebody saying that if it was like in the context of a conversation and like everybody laughing because of how ridiculous it is. But just to like cold DM someone, or like not someone, just to cold DM your homies and do like a 3-paragraph essay about your like ass just fucking bleeding. It was like, yeah, dude, like
that's just information that no one needed.
It's just a lot. Yeah. I was kind of like, man, read the room. Read the room a little bit, dog.
Right.
Like you wouldn't walk into, this is a group chat. Keep in mind, everybody, this is a group chat that we don't really use that much anymore. So imagine like the real life version of this. Like you walk into a room of like a bunch of your friends and you haven't talked to them in like a month, and you walk in and instead of saying like, yo guys, what's good?
Hello.
Like, how we all doing? Hello, how you doing? What you guys want to go out to eat? It was just like, imagine walking into this room, looking at all your boys and just spitting for like a solid 120 seconds about like blood just like shooting out of your asshole. That's basically what it was.
There's also a line about a blood-covered turd.
Yeah, it's kind of like, dog, like, get that checked out. Like,
and when we say, like, we don't use it that much, we mean, like, he's the only person that texts in it. And then if there's any response, it's, like, one response. And then that's the end.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's just kind of a dead chat. So it's sort of like, it was just a lot. I was like, man, this is like.
I didn't need this on a Sunday night.
Dude.
Like,
yeah, I was like just kind of at my computer. I was at my computer just getting some work done, and I was just like,
came home from my mom's house because we were hanging out there all weekend because my brother broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And just got that text, and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to hang out on a Sunday night and not do any of the homework that's due tonight in peace. Like, damn.
You're like, I didn't need this, like, the violence right now.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, on the Lord's Day, on the Sabbath day. Yeah. I got to hear about bleeding assholes?
I didn't want it.
Yeah.
I didn't want it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, anyway, by the way, drink of the day is a whiskey Coke.
Yes.
I've been busy. I didn't prepare anything.
We've both been, like, crazy busy.
Yeah.
But we've also shown this to you guys, so, like, by now you guys should be whiskey Coke aficionados.
Yeah, whiskey Coke.
Yeah.
Crown and Coke.
Yeah. I also forgot my external mic, so the audio would have been more difficult to capture anyways.
Listen,
So.
we're saving you from the pain. Also, I was like, I'll just do a gin. I wanted a gin and tonic, ran out of gin.
Ah, damn.
Yeah. So
That's
now
tough.
I'm down. I have a half gallon of Crown. I have a bottle of Scotch
Mm.
and a bottle of Seagram's, which is a more Canadian whiskey.
Yeah.
So I'm very short on the drink selection.
So you're gonna be doing like exclusively whiskey cocktails for like
Unless
the
I
next
get
week.
more stuff, which is I do want to get more stuff. I need to get like Contro or triple sec or something. Like I need to get orange bitters.
right.
I need to get orange bitters.
Yeah, yeah,
I will make an old fashioned at some point. But
yeah. We should look and see. We should like just kind of look and see like what common good cocktails that we should hit up next, because I feel like there's a lot of classics that we tried that we probably have some of the ingredients for anyways. Just
there's
simple.
a few that I want to do. I want to
Yeah.
do a sidecar.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I want to do
totally.
At some point. I want to do a Sazerac.
Right. Yeah, yeah. That'd be good.
I want to do also like actually make a margarita.
Yeah, yeah.
Want to do that.
Be so down.
And at some point, fuck, we got to be drunks at some point. Like let's just make a Long Island.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get all the booze in there.
So down.
Yeah. So like a bunch of classics that I want to do, but like I figured like before I break the bank and get all the shit for it, like I might as well like make some of the cocktails that like are with the bottles I have.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And now that I'm like, okay, I'm out of gin, I'm out of bourbon, like instead of okay, let's just restock that and making the same stuff, like let's get some vodka and do some vodka cocktails. Let's get some, some Hennessy, do some Hennessy, like not necessarily Hennessy, but like,
You know,
what's that alcohol called?
you know what we could do? You're talking about cognac.
Cognac, yeah. Cognac,
know
let's
what
do some of that.
We could do is have you seen the one that's cognac and the Grand Marnier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does look good.
I forget the name of it, but it sounded good, like an orangey, cognac-y kind of sweet drink. Like, sounds interesting.
It's like sidecar-esque, but not a
Yeah,
sidecar.
yeah,
No, I want to make a sidecar. Sidecars are good.
yeah,
I
definitely.
like sidecars.
That was like an early one. We talked about that, and both were like, yes, like we need to do that.
Even Peyton likes sidecars.
Oh,
I
nice.
had one.
Awesome.
We went to dinner 2 or 3 weeks ago at a Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got a sidecar. But they serve him in the fucking like fishbowl glasses.
That's funny.
A lot of fucking alcohol.
Yeah, yeah. And with
I was
that
like,
butter too.
Ooh, yeah,
Put a little bit of butter in the sidecar and then drink that shit like stew. Fuck, dude.
sure.
That's just me.
Yeah, it's just you. No, they forgot to charge me for it too.
Oh, how much
Yeah,
was it?
And I'm like, that size of drink, it had to have been a $15 drink.
Yeah, it had to have been. Because
Because it was a huge fucking, like, a sidecar, I would already expect, like, a normal sidecar in a coupe
yeah.
to be, like, fucking, at least, like, $7.
Yeah, yeah.
That was, like, bare minimum triple the size of a normal sidecar.
Yeah, that had to have been more.
So I'm like, that had to have been, like, at least a $15 drink.
Yeah, definitely. Because
So
if you
I'm
go to like Applebee's or Chili's and just get like a basic margarita, it's like $7,
Yeah.
$8 maybe, something like that. So like, damn,
Yeah, and I fucking give you guys drinks for free.
you made off. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, hey, I mean, you giveth and you taketh.
What do I take?
You were gifted with a free drink.
Oh,
Like you gifted other
Yeah,
people
yeah.
free drinks, and you were gifted.
I've definitely gifted more
return.
drinks than I've received.
Well, yeah, fair enough, but it all gets it all comes around.
Next time
eventually.
we have a party, I'm not putting in for booze.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'll just be
Yeah.
like, I make you guys free drinks all the time. So
Yeah, fair enough.
booze is not cheap either.
No, it's not.
Starting to learn that. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, let me just go get a couple. Like, let me get just vodka, cognac, and I like a bottle of vodka, bottle of cognac, and then fuck it, let's get another bottle of rum. I'm like, oh, like to get like decent of any of those, I'm gonna have to spend over $100
Yeah.
on 3 bottles of spirit. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
That's why I actually never mind. Yeah, dude, it's funny, I think like when you're the designated person who's buying all the alcohol and then you have to send all the Venmo requests out, like people don't realize like what the shit they drink actually costs.
Oh yeah.
Cuz like you know, like I kind of had that problem where I was like the designated person that was going to grow in the
I'll
store.
send $20. Like that doesn't cover, bro.
You're right. It's just like, you know, when you actually see what it costs, because it's like, first, the stuff's already kind of expensive. Then you pay the tax,
Right.
and there's everything else, and like, you know, whatever. There's
It's like,
like
you go shopping for a party. It's like you're getting multiple cases of beer, like 6 or 7 bottles,
yeah,
and then people are like, "Yeah, I'll chip in $10." Like,
yeah.
bro,
Well-
no, like I just dropped like over 100, like $200.
Yeah, well, especially too, like if it's beer, it's not even as big of a deal because it's
Right.
like you can go grab a 30 rack for like $22 at Save Mart.
As soon as you start buying bottles of spirits, though,
Yeah.
even
Or, like-
cheap spirits are like not cheap.
Yeah, or people want to get like expensive shit like Trulies, and it's like a 6-pack
Right,
for like
yeah,
15
yeah.
bucks,
It's like,
and you're
bro,
like,
just
this is what you want to drink. I don't
bunch
know
of
what to tell you.
Trulies. I'm like, you can't just give me $10 though.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't even cover like.
Yeah, like that's the
Bro,
funny
I
thing.
want a cooler full of Trulies and I'll give you $10. It's like, bro, that doesn't even cover 1 pack.
Yeah.
And I've seen you drink. You're an alcoholic. You're gonna drink like 3 packs worth.
Yeah, dude. Like that's why I tried telling everybody, like, you guys, when you go and turn 21, you're not going to drink those anymore.
No.
Because when you actually
When you
have to
start
pay for
buying your own
them,
shit?
yeah, you realize like they're just. I mean, they're all right. Don't get me wrong; they taste good, but it's like you gotta really want them.
Why do you think I slowed down drinking so much,
Yeah,
bro? I've these margaritas have
Yeah.
been in there for fucking ever.
yeah.
Because I don't drink all the time because I'm like, damn, there's 4 of those. I used to think when I first started drinking, when I wasn't paying for shit, I'm like, damn, I'm just gonna drink all of them in one night.
Mhm.
They're good.
Yeah.
Now that 6-pack, we bought 2 6-packs probably like 3 months ago. That's the last one.
Yeah.
I'm just barely drinking it.
Yeah. It's expensive,
Like-
man.
It's not like I don't want to have to like my dad would do it. Like he would drink and he would buy a fucking 30-pack every time he went to the store. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. That's expensive as shit.
Yeah, dude.
Like
It
that's,
adds up.
That's why most of the time I just get like spirits. Like
Yeah.
if I get the stuff to make mixed drinks, I don't have to get more stuff for months.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, whenever I'm showing people, like, whenever I'm trying to introduce people to like different kinds of whiskeys that aren't familiar with it, and they're asking about the prices, like, I'll always emphasize, like, it sounds expensive, but you really got to also like.
You're getting more out of a bottle of whiskey than you ever would out of a 30 rack.
Well, that and like I always emphasize, like, you know, I'm not going and pouring like a giant, like, I'm not filling up half an old fashioned glass with this like $60 bottle of whiskey.
Right.
I'm like, I'm drinking like an ounce every few days, and then I have like a cheaper one that I will drink like an ounce and a half out of, or like,
If you pour heavy, you're pouring 1.5 ounces.
yeah, exactly. It's like I'm kind of just savoring it, you know?
Where like beers, you go to a party, I'll
Oh yeah,
at a party I will chug like
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
at least 6 beers.
yeah,
At least.
yeah.
On top of like what I'm just sipping on.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you go to a party, you're drinking, you know, you're drinking Coors, you're drinking something else, PBR. Yeah, you're drinking like affordable stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas
If
like,
we're going bougie, we'll get 805.
right?
Like,
Yeah, that's like we're feeling special tonight.
Yeah.
We're treating ourselves. Yeah, so it's like you got to be able to control it, because otherwise it's expensive.
It's like I brought a bottle or to a party one time, like a nice bottle for me and you to try some from.
Yeah, I was so shocked. I was like,
And
I saw it. I was like, what?
Yeah. And I have people walking, shots. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
It was.
I just paid $80 for this bottle. Get the fuck out of here.
Wasn't that when you got the Four Roses single barrel? Is that when you're
Yeah.
talking about?
It was when I think the single barrel select.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're like, shots. I'm like, if
I was
anyone touches this bottle, I will kill you.
Yeah.
I paid $80 for this.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, no.
Yeah, dude. It's so like
Like,
so funny. Cause it's like there's whiskeys that you could just take shots of. It's just like that's not the one.
get Jack.
Yeah.
Get fucking Crown. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you take a shot, like, and you know how shot pours are at parties. They're not 1 ounce.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's take a double shot and I'm going to spill half of it and have to refill it. Like,
Yeah.
nah, bro. Like, get the Crown. They have the pour spout on it to make sure you don't fucking spill it,
Yeah.
even though it's cheap as fuck and it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from my nice bourbon. All right.
Yeah. Man, dude. Parties are so funny. Like I feel like the dynamic of how parties unfold is so funny because like you sort of see the psychology of like the way people operate.
Yeah.
Like those weird stereotypes you'll always see. Like you'll always see people that are just like way too expressive, and then they like go out to a party and they're just like hugging everyone and they're just like so happy and this and that. You'll see other people that like just feel super like evasive and like confrontational, and you sort of see like, I don't know, you sort of see like a lot of people's true colors out in that setting.
Always one girl or one guy that just had like, as soon as they start drinking, has an aversion to clothing.
Yeah,
Like, I just showed up in Spanx and a bra. That's what I'm partying in. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, you see like who people really are. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's a weird it's a weird thing because it's like you get into this jig. You get this big like group setting, and then everybody starts drinking, and it's like all the like covers that you put on when you're just like out living your regular day-to-day life just kind of disappear.
Yeah,
and you're
and you could tell who's like real as in like who acts like how they really want to act.
Yeah, exactly.
And who puts on a front.
Yeah,
Because when you get drunk, you're just acting like you.
Yeah.
Like me, like nothing changes. It's just intensified.
Yeah,
It's just like I'm loud, I'm obnoxious. I laugh loud. I make jokes.
You're totally the like I fucking love you guys guy.
Yeah, of
Like
course. But I'm also the I love you guys guy when I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm like me. I personally don't change at all. I just I'm drunk and it gets intensified.
Yeah.
But like some people are like a completely different person.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why don't you just live your life like that, man?
Yeah.
Like I do. I just live my life how I am.
Yeah.
And, some people don't like me. Some people do. Like I don't give a shit.
Because like sometimes it's good. Like sometimes you go out for the night and you see people and you're like, man, that guy's great. That guy's the shit. Or that girl, super cool. And then sometimes like people start drinking. You get out to a party. Everybody kind of removes themselves from like just whatever like they do in the outside world. And you're like, damn, you kind of suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just weird.
Because a lot of the times you see in movies, it's like kumbaya. Like everyone's drinking. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone loves each other. But like I would say half the time it's like, I don't like you, and now I'm validated in not liking you.
Yeah.
Like I know you're a shit person.
Yeah.
Because like you're drunk and you're acting like even worse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not just like it's not like, oh, that's the extreme of how you're acting when you're sober. Like, no, it goes way further, and you just like put on a front.
Yeah.
I'm like,
such a half-baked take. Like, yo, people are different when they go to parties, but it's like, I just wonder if like psychologists ever walk into like a huge house party and they're just like, it's a case study. I wonder if they walk in, they're just like,
that guy needs therapy. That guy needs therapy. That guy needs to go to prison.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if they walk in and they're just like casing up every single person. They're like, yo, this is crazy.
I mean, they must be.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine that's something that you just like turn off.
Yeah.
Like once you get into like it's like I remember watching like throws, like a shot put throw or a discus throw or hammer throw before like just seeing it before I got into it. Like I was an athlete in it, and I've been doing it for junior year to now. I've been doing it for like 6 or 7 years, 7 years. And now at this point I'm like, oh, like I don't look at this the same.
Yeah.
Like I constantly analyze every throw.
Yeah.
Even if I'm just scrolling through Instagram and it's some random high school kid, I'm like, well, he needs to get off his left earlier, and he needs to keep his weight over his right into the finish. And I'm like, why can't I just watch it? Like I imagine that's how it has to be for psychology.
It's got to be.
Like you can't not like psychoanalyze people.
Yeah. Because like anytime people are like so invested in something like that, it's like they just see it in a whole different light. Mm-hmm. But like for something like throwing, you're not going to see throwing in a lot of situations unless you're going through social media or you're like out somewhere.
That's me, like just in that specific situation. It changes how I view it. Now imagine being like a psychologist and like that's every moment that you're around other people.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that must be exhausting.
Yeah. You're just constantly realizing like how unhinged most people are.
Right. It's like, oh, all these like mental diseases and stuff like that you're like, yeah, like, oh, everyone has one? Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy's antisocial. This guy's psychotic. This guy's like has borderline personality disorder. Like,
yeah.
Just everyone has something wrong.
But then maybe the flip side's also true. Like maybe sometimes they go out and they meet someone and they're just like admiring how stable they are.
Right.
Just
You're
see
like,
guys
as a
are like-
psychologist, I love you because you have no issues, so I don't have to diagnose you.
Dude, just being like, yo, dude, honestly, I fucking love your vibe, and then giving them like a full-on diagnosis of how they're like so stable-minded,
Right.
super centered. Damn, that's
but then,
weird.
But then also, like, do you think there's some psychologists that are like attracted to the people that are like especially fucked up, like have like a savior complex or something?
I would have to imagine. Like, there's
I'm
gotta be
sure.
some, yeah.
Because like there's always the stories of like the cops and the paramedics that like maim people.
Yeah.
And then like are the ones to come save them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure psychologists are like, I want to look for a fucked up person to get in a relationship with and like save them.
Bro.
Or, like help them.
Fucking psychologist, dude. Like meeting girls on Tinder and then just like absolutely destroying them mentally and emotionally and then going and fixing their life.
Right.
That's
Be like,
fucked up.
oh, what's up, girl? You definitely got daddy issues.
Damn.
Like,
Damn, what's up, girl? I can see the anxiety through the fucking tube top, baby girl. What's good?
I could see
I know you grew up in a one-parent household. What's
I can see the
cracking?
distorted self-image from the picture with your dog.
Damn,
Your head
girl.
is lower than your dog's in the picture, which means you see yourself below your own animal. Damn. Like,
Damn, girl, those fucking Tinder pics are fucking fire, but I know you still got self-image issues.
your life is an open book. I know everything about you.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. That's got to be a thing. That's
Oh,
got to be a
100%.
thing. There's definitely some like nefarious, like demented psychologists out there.
No,
that are,
100%.
like-
There's fucked up people in every profession.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's people that take advantage of their knowledge of psychology. But then there's those guys that are like the guys that are like, I can get any dude to fuck any woman. He's like, I know psychology and like
oh, I hate that
like the
shit, dude.
fucking like virtuoso guys, like the what are they called?
The fucking like I know like you're talking about like the pickup artist guys.
Yeah, the
on
pickup
YouTube and
artists.
stuff.
Yeah. The pickup artists. They're like, I know psychology. If you do this trick on women, they'll all want to fuck you. And I'm like, dude, if you look like fucking, Steve Urkel and you go to the club, like, I don't care what you do, no girl's gonna want to fuck you in overalls with big oversized glasses.
Like I just hate like the like overlap with all the other dumb ideas they have because it's
Yeah.
like if they started off with that and then they were just describing general stuff like yeah man just be personable open
Like,
and,
this
talk
isn't
to
a
people,
guarantee,
like-
but it'll help.
yeah
But
like,
they're like, no, guaranteed. If you meet Megan Fox in the club after she got married to Machine Gun Kelly, you can fuck. Like,
Yeah.
No, you can't.
it's like
You're wrong.
because it's like it's never just regular like self-improvement type of stuff. It's always
Right.
like oh you gotta neg them so they like feel like less
You
than
gotta bring
and
them
then-
down to bring yourself
Yeah,
up.
it's always that
always
shit.
some stupid shit.
It's like the stupid alpha male shit and you're like nah dog like yeah maybe that works but even if it does that's like
even if it
that's just-
does, that's not what I want to do.
yeah
And
it
I'm like,
definitely-
also, like, if it worked, literally everyone would do it. If you can just do this one strategy that could get you to fuck any supermodel or actress that you wanted, everyone would do it.
yeah
And all the fucking actresses would have like gonorrhea, syphilis, like everything. Because ain't nobody that's
hold
going to
up.
it.
Rewind.
Ain't nobody that's going to a pickup artist class if they're successful at it.
Mhm.
No way they don't have a bunch of fucking STIs.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
For
It
sure,
just depends.
dude.
Like,
Bro, I
wait, the
I
pickup
would
artist like instructors?
I would bet that any pickup artist instructor has like if they actually do fuck,
Right.
100% they got some STIs.
Well, like
100%.
which ones though? Like the
Like the
serious
sleazy
ones?
one. No, the sleazy ones. Like the
Oh,
ones that are
like-
like, I got this psychological trick that'll make you fuck anyone. If they actually
Oh,
fuck.
like syphilis and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say because if it's like herpes, like everybody has that.
No. I mean like the bad one. Like
Right,
gonorrhea,
HIV.
syphilis, HIV. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. No, that stuff is like so weird, and it's like it's funny because I feel like that niche.
Fall for it.
Yeah, people totally fall for it. That's like one of the few niches that hasn't disappeared because ever since like the 80s and 90s, like that's been a thing where people have tried to sell like marketing ways to pick up girls, and it's like
Right.
it's weird too because it hasn't really changed. It is always kind of just regular like broy alpha male shit, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just kind of like I don't know. It's a little weird.
The like literally the whole base thing between all of them is like most of the pickup artists that are like this can't get girls, so they're like, or not even get girls, but like because I'm not a guy that like when I'm single I can just go out and get any girl I want. I'm not one, it's not something I want to do, but two, even if I wanted to, that's not something that is in the cards.
Yeah.
I'm someone who wants to find someone that I genuinely like and respect, and who genuinely likes and respects me, and have a nice connection with that person.
Yeah.
But they're like the type that tries to go out and just get a bunch of chicks. They can't, so then they're like they secretly like fuck women. So like you have to degrade them and put yourself above them, and then through this like rhetoric that they preach to themselves, they then become like have this god complex that they're like better than women. I'm like I could, like they'll be talking to women like, oh, if you saw me in the club in my territory, I'd have you begging. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
like that. No, you wouldn't. You're creepy and off-putting, and you have a real problem with women, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's like also part of the overlap because I feel like a lot of those guys market to like kind of the whole like incel subculture.
Oh,
and it's like
100%.
That's what I mean. There's like weird overlaps where you're like, it's just they're like so predatory. They're just
right. They treat it like they're like hunting wild game.
Yeah, they always
like, dude, that's a person.
Dog, they always go like, duh, dude, like in nature, like it is the man's job to plant his seed, and like in the social hierarchy, there are like men who are higher up the totem pole.
And I'm just like, dog, we're in the club, bumping to T-Pain's artificial ass voice, which is, I'm not dogging T-Pain. T-Pain created, like, basically started auto-tune. Love T-Pain. T-Pain's the best. But anyway, we're bumping to T-Pain's auto-tuned fake voice, like.
You're like,
well, this is not nature. Like, this is a person.
Yeah.
Talk to them like a normal person. If they like you, then they'll fucking talk to you. If they don't, they'll be like, yo, fuck off. You might get embarrassed. Take it on the chin. Take it like a fucking regular human.
Yeah.
And be like, you know what? Word. Okay. I'll sneak back over there. Maybe try to hit on another girl I find cute 5 minutes from now. And maybe like 3 out of 10 times will be successful. Be okay with that. That's the life of being a man that wants to try to pick up girls in clubs or bars.
Yeah.
That's it.
They always treat that shit like as Nat Geo Wild.
Right.
Like, it's not as like animalistic as you think it is.
You have to stalk your prey, just as the lion keeps below the brush until the perfect moment of insecurity in these women, and then they pounce. Like, bro, it's not that complicated.
Yeah. Because like, it's weird because like, there's always like a little seed of truth in like the stuff they say. Like, people that are usually in like the same general like social and economic circles usually meet each other and therefore like usually are with other people in that group. But it's not some like hard and fast rule where there's like some sort of social hierarchy and there's like people that are up and down the hierarchy.
It's just like a fact of life that like, hey, the people that are like that, like, obviously, because if you're hanging out with people from work, obviously they're going to be making around the same amount as you.
Yeah.
If you're hanging out with people like even our friend group, like, there's not some wild deviation in how much money like one of us makes versus another.
Yeah.
Like, we're all fucking like 20 to 23 years old. We all fucking work minimum wage or slightly above minimum wage jobs. And we're all making probably between 15 and 25,000 a year. But like even the ones that make like more, but like, oh, they make good money. Like they work at the hospital or whatever. Maybe they make 30.
Yeah,
but like we don't hang out with anyone that's making 80K a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just a fact of life. Is you're gonna hang out with the people that you associate with, and generally that means that's the people that make around the same as you, that are around the same social part of the world as you are, and that's just like how it goes. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they try to dive into the psychology, like oh, if you make this amount of money, that means these people that make less money are easy prey, and psychologically, it's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just two people meeting. That's all it is.
Exactly. Like, it's so stupid because it's like, you know, like, there's people I'm, like, friends with and know and stuff, and I know, like, they're caking. They're making so much money, but it's like, there's not some hierarchy where, like we're together.
Them. Right.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, there's not some, like, dynamic where I'm, like, subservient and they're, like, the, like, superior person. It's just kind of like, yeah, we're friends. We have, like, mutual interests. Like, we know each other. You know, we have other mutual people we know, like, yeah. Or it's like, or if I'm, like, talking to some girl and I know, like, yeah, she's making me, like, oh, shit, the camera. And I know, like, yeah, she's making a real healthy amount of money. It's like, you know, she would have to be making, like, millions of dollars for it to even be noticeable. Because even if she makes, like, 60K, 100K a year, like, the difference between...
That's not that different from the life we live.
Yeah. It's not like she's, like...
Like, it's just a scaled-up version.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, instead of, like, you don't have to regulate the amount of times you go out for fast food. Like, we do. Like, you don't have to fucking... You don't have to fucking be like, oh, 1 out of 5 times I have to not go out to dinner with my friends because I just don't have the money.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing, really.
Yeah.
And like instead of living in an apartment, you live in a house. But is it really that different? Like, no.
Yeah, it's not like the difference between me and Kylie Jenner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she has a very distinctly different lifestyle
Right.
than like most people I know. Whereas like the difference between us and like a lot of people you'll run into on the street or know is like it's not that much.
Right. Like if you looked at my life, you wouldn't go like, "Oh, you poor
peasant.
man. You make no money."
Poor?
I don't make that much money. Like I'll tell you, I don't give a fuck. Like on my tax returns, I made like 14.5.
Yeah.
And we make tips, so like it's realistically more like I keep track of my tips. It's realistically more like after tips, my take home was like 22K.
Right.
But like I'm not fucking rolling in the dough.
Mm-hmm.
But if you looked at my life, you wouldn't say like, "Oh, you're poor."
Yeah.
I'm make it by just fine. I pay my rent on time every month. I'm able to afford a gym membership. Like I'm able to save for retirement. Like it's really not like it's this thing where people think like I grew up poor, which is like, and when I say I grew up poor, I mean in an American context. Like we were bringing in less than 50K a year, less than like around 40K a year for, you know, my mom, me, my brother, my sister, like for 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
Like, which 40K a year, if you make 40K a year for yourself, you're doing just fine.
Yeah, one
you
person,
can live a very, like, nothing to, like, go crazy about, but a very nice life.
Yeah.
Like
you won't have
no issues. Like, when you split it between 4 or 5 people, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
now we're getting to, like, hey, do we pay the light bill this month, the electric bill?
Yeah.
Or do we get, like, new cleats for baseball?
Yeah.
Like, sorry, you're going to have to wear your old cleats from last year. Like, but, like, nothing where it's, like, we're going to be homeless.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it's like, if I'm making, like, even now, like, $22,000 a year, like, that's cool. Do I want to make more at some point? Sure. But I'm like, if I was making 26 versus 22, is my life going to change that drastically? I might save a little more.
Yeah.
I might go out to eat a little more, but nothing crazy.
No.
So it's like when people put so much like stock in like bagging someone that makes more money or whatever, I'm like, you can make a life for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
With if you don't even have to fucking go to high school, you can have a minimum wage job and just work full time, 40 hours a week, and you will make $30,000 to $40,000 a year, which you can live just fine off of. With a like, you can take vacations, you can do stuff like you don't have to make that much.
I mean, not if you want to save money though.
Not if you want to save money, but I'm like saying just like living like. I save for retirement. Me and Peyton just went on a cruise. A cruise is not that expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Take a 5-day cruise. Literally costs like a few $100 to reserve. If you want to take like some excursions and stuff at your destination and spend some money on the cruise, maybe you spend like $1,000.
Right. Yeah,
That's an expensive cruise. $1,000 is a pretty nice 5-day cruise for one person.
Right. Yeah.
Like very nice.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me you can't afford that making 30, 40 grand a year? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Like, don't live outside your means. Don't get a $400,000 house.
Yeah.
Like, live in an apartment. Live with a roommate.
Yeah.
Like, but you can have a very comfortable life making not that much money. Like I do. I make, like I said, like 21K a year with the tips I make. And like I'm not going to disclose Peyton's financials because but she does just fine. And like we afforded to go on a vacation and it didn't stop us from paying our bills. It didn't really change anything at all. Like,
yeah,
we're good.
But like, that's my point too, is like, unless you are making like a lot of streams of passive income or you have assets that will gain money for you, like people that make like $100,000 or less a year, like you're still so susceptible to just random like chance things that happen.
Yeah.
Like the difference between you and somebody that makes $100,000 a year, like if one of you guys had some like freak injury that caused it to where you couldn't work, you guys are both fucked. And there's no like safety net to help you there.
Injury would be fine. You just get disability.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to like survive off that. You know what I mean?
Well, no, disability. If you're on unemployment, then yeah, you like that's not that much. In disability, you get paid based off of what you were making when you were working.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I don't know how long that lasts for. It depends because it's like if you were making a lot and then you go on disability, you're gonna be getting money.
Yeah.
But like if you were like I worked a minimum wage job and I just bought a house and now I'm getting disability. That's not good.
Yeah, that's
like
my point.
Me in my situation, if I got hurt and had to go on disability, I would be making because I think it goes you make whatever your in the last year, whatever your highest earning quarter was, they base your disability off that. So that'll be like your salary or whatever.
Yeah.
And so as long as that's enough for you to support yourself and pay your bills, you're good.
Yeah,
but like I do see what you're saying. Where like either way, it's not as good.
Yeah. That's my point. Is like the lifestyle difference and like the susceptibility to like random emergency situations. Like it's pretty much the same unless you have like a few $100,000 of like assets or things that can gain value. Like it's not like some complete shift in lifestyles. You know what I mean?
People think like people that make 100,000 like. And to me, like, still, if I'm making $100,000 a year, I feel rich. But in reality, when you look at it, like, from the actual range, like, if you make $50,000 a year, and if you make $100,000 a year, like, you're in the middle class.
Yeah.
Both of you are in the middle class.
Yeah.
Like, sure, if you make like 40 or under, you're like lower middle class. But like once you make 50, which is not that like it's not a reach for you to make 50. Get a call center job that pays $18 an hour, work 40 hours a week. You can right there make 45 grand.
Yeah.
Like if you're working 40 hours every single week, not calling out, like you can get there. Maybe like lower 40, but like still, all it takes to get 50 grand a year. Get a job that pays $20 an hour, work 40 hours a week, don't call out. You'll make $50K a year.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a degree to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and I have a degree. Like, I'm about to get a degree. I can literally get a call center job that base pays like 18. I'll be like, hey, I have a degree. I'll get bumped to like $20 to $22 an hour after an AA.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hard to make 40, 50K a year.
Yeah.
It's really not. Even at a minimum wage job, it's not hard to make 40K a year.
Well, I think
work full time.
The problem isn't like ideal, because in an ideal situation, you would have no emergencies, you would have no debt, and you can just live your life and make the exact amount of money you make. Like the problem though is if you have literally any emergency where you have to spend a large amount of money, or like let's say you went to a really expensive college and you were just kind of bred to believe like that's what I'm going to do with my life, and maybe it didn't pan out, you know, you could end up with having just an amount of debt that you're practically enslaved with having to use so much of your income to pay off that debt.
And so that happens.
Oh,
and a lot of that is tied to like, well, I need to go to a good school. All the schools are good.
Yeah.
If you're getting a degree, like, unless it's like some like law, like really prestigious law firm that's like, we only accept people from like Ivy League law schools.
Yeah.
In that very specific situation, okay. If you really want to work at that law firm, maybe it matters what school you went to.
Yeah.
For the majority of stuff, when I get my bachelor's in communications and go and apply to be like a broadcaster or a communications specialist at a business, they're not going to read, oh, you got your degree from Stanislaus State University. We can't accept you because this guy went to UCLA. Like, no, they don't care. They see a degree. They said, okay, you're qualified. Now let's interview you.
Yeah.
Like, but like people assume like, well, I have to go to UCLA. I have to go to Stanford. I have to go to like NYU. I have to go to Harvard, Yale, Boston College. Like, no, you don't. Like, an AA does so much for you.
Yeah.
Going to junior college for 2 years, paying a very minimal amount of money, not going into any debt, and that already increases your earning capacity.
Yeah.
Like,
This is
what's wrong with that?
This is all true, but it's like in hindsight, you know, you see things so clearly and you're like, oh, I could tell what the best course of action was.
But in high school, I was completely freaking The only student debt I have is because I decided it was smarter to go to a 4 university when I was 17 years old and accept a scholarship where I was going to have to pay the other half instead of going to junior college for free and getting the same education.
Yeah.
I would argue that the education I'm getting at MJC is better, much better than the education I was getting at CCU.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to go in debt 10 grand
Yeah, no,
to go there.
It's crazy because like when you're 17 years old, you can like subject yourself to like crippling amounts of debt, but you can't even go to the store and like buy a pack of cigarettes,
bro. And like,
you know what I mean?
like when you look at it, like I'm lucky. Like I'm only 10 grand
Yeah,
in
yeah.
student loan debt, and I'm like, it's a good chance I'll get that forgiven because of all the hijinks that happened with the school and them like scamming a bunch of people.
I forgot about
like
that.
it looks like I have to fill out the paperwork, but like they said after I explained the situation, like you probably will get your money back.
Yeah.
Like, cool. But like even so, even if I didn't get my money back, I'm a lot luckier than a lot of people. A lot of people like go at least 30 grand in debt because they're like, well, I have to go to a 4-year school right off the bat. I like literally going to, if you live in California, go to junior college for free for 2 years. Like literally the only thing you might have to pay for is your books, which is a couple $100 a year.
Yeah.
Like fucking deal with it. And then like there's your 2 years pre-education. You have an AA. And then if you do go to a 4-year, you only have to do 2 years there instead of 3. And go to a state school. Like unless you have a scholarship somewhere. If you have a scholarship to a nice school, obviously take it. Yeah. But like if it's a full ride. But there's nothing wrong with going to state schools where, hey, if you get FAFSA, you're basically not paying anything out of pocket.
Yeah. No, it's not tremendously expensive to go to a state university. And it's like, it's just, I just feel bad for so many of the people that, you know, when they're like 16, 17 years old, they've like committed to going to a school where they're just assuming so much debt that it's like, they're, you know, for all intents and purposes, they're a slave. Like they have to work to put half of their income towards debt.
You know how
and
much
the interest just kills them.
Debt never gets paid off.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And I'm all for like, I don't think that like they were talking about, like the government was talking about like, we're going to forgive all student debt. Look, you took on a debt, like in my eyes, like you need to pay it off.
Right.
Like there's one thing if like, oh, I finished school and then I got like in a bad car accident, like my brain injury, so I'm not able to make what I was supposed to make. There's like, but like normally it's like, hey, in my case, I'm like, if nothing had gone wrong with the school, like obviously if they didn't scam us, like I'd be like, I need to pay that off. Mm-hmm. But like, I still think that's true. But the fact that they manufacture the system to where you have to make this decision at 16, 17 years old, like that's crazy. That's crazy to expect. Like you cannot be held the same amount of accountable for a murder at 17 versus 18 because you're still a child, but you're expected to be held the same amount of accountable for the financial decisions you make at 17 that will affect you into your late adulthood.
Yeah, yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And like, to be quite honest, like there's so many career paths that don't require college anymore. Like if you were like, hey, I want to be a stockbroker or I want to do day trading or something, like not that I would recommend those or not recommend those or whatever, but like realistically, you don't need to go to college to do those things.
Well, you do need to for a stockbroker.
For a stockbroker. But I mean, like if you just want to say like, hey, I'm investing my own money, I want to be a day trader.
Right.
You don't need to go to college for that.
That being said, though, like if you're gonna make any meaningful money as a day trader, you already have to have at least $100,000.
Right, but I'm saying like,
so it's like
that's like trust fund kids. It's like I'm saying if your dad has a lot of money, you want to be like I want to trade. I want to be on the day trading market. What is college going to do for you? If you want to be a welder, what is college going to do for you? Go to a technical school, learn it in half the time, pay half the amount of money, or even less, and get paid the same amount to be a certified welder. If you want to be a contractor, if you want to be a plumber, if you want to like, there are so many fucking things that don't require a college education that are good. Now, if what you want to do requires a college education, like I want to go into communications, I want to be a broadcaster, all that, you get paid a lot more if you have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, yeah.
And also I'm doing track, which is something I want to do. Like it makes sense for me with what I want to do to go to college. But like, there's so many people that they're like, I don't even know what I want to do. I'm like, why are you at a 4-year paying $40K a year for an education that you might not even use?
Yeah, yeah. I think
makes no sense.
In my opinion, because I don't actually disagree with the people that go to college and like don't know what they're gonna do. But I would say like if they don't know what they're gonna do, don't commit to a school that's extremely expensive.
Right. If you want to go to junior college and figure out what you want to do.
Like, I would even say go to a state university. Just go to a cheaper
even
one.
That. Like, that's still better than going to UCLA.
Yeah. Because in my experience, like, for certain occupation... Oh, we have a little intermission here, guys. Cody is taking a call. Do, 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 do.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry I'm not gonna be able to see you. I love you though. I can sell you some money. Pick up some food.
Sorry guys. Got a little
I'll call you as soon
emergency stop here.
I love you. Bye.
But yeah, in my, obviously for certain occupations you absolutely need an education, and you
100%.
need that knowledge. But
And if you want to do those occupations, go to college.
I would say also though, like, even if you don't know what you're gonna do, I think there's a tremendous value in just the people you meet and the connections you make at a university. Whereas, and I will say that's one of the few differences between a university and like a JC is like, with a university, there's tons of people that are around campus that you meet and like connections you make. And that's extremely valuable. But you can also get that in more affordable schools.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm like
Stan.
Yeah, like you get all the social aspect you get from UCLA or Stanford or Cal.
Mm-hmm.
You also get from Stan, which if you're making the full, like if you get full FAFSA payments every year, like if you get the full FAFSA payments, you literally don't have to pay out of pocket for.
Yeah.
Like the only thing you have to pay out of pocket for is books.
Yeah.
So it's like, why pay all that money to get the same social experience if that is what you're going for?
Mm.
Like,
well,
and if I'm a kid and you're like, if your mom and your parents are paying for you to go to college, like, bro, have your 4-year vacation.
Yeah,
like, all you got to do is go to classes, you get a party and hang out. Like, take your 4-year vacation. But like, I know as far as like me in the future, and like if I ever have kids, it's like, hey, like if you do want to go down the college route, but you don't know what you want to do, or even if you do know what you want to do, let's do JC for 2 years. See, one, if you even like want to do school, because some people do 1 year in college and they go, oh, I'm actually burnt out from high school and I just don't want to do school anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do this other thing that doesn't require school. Or like maybe you're like, I don't want to do school proper, but I want to be an EMT. I'll go to EMT school for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like a year of JC to figure that out is so much better than spending $40,000 at a big school.
This is true, but if they already know what they're going to do, I would say just go to the university. Because, like, again, but okay, your first 2 years at university, regardless of like what your major is, for the average person, first 2 years at university are gen ed. Yeah, right.
What are
I'm not saying yeah, right. I'm saying like,
well, yeah.
But
what do you also do at junior college?
Well,
gen ed.
What I was gonna say was, if in an ideal world, yeah, you just go for 2 years and just get your classes done, then go to a university. But realistically, nobody's ever able to get all the classes they need in that 2-year period at a JC. And if you already know what you're gonna do, you might as well just go to an affordable university. And then after the 2 years, if you're still solid on that, go to an even better university where you can get the best education. But again, I'm saying like go to a state university. If you go to Stan, even like 2 years at Stan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying junior college or an affordable university.
Yeah.
Like when I'm saying like, because obviously Stan, even if you're paying out of pocket, it's not that much a year.
Yeah, it's like you can
especially
do it.
Getting FAFSA, like when you get FAFSA and everything, like it's not that bad. But when you have like me, I went to a private school in Ohio that cost, $30,000 a year to go to.
Yeah.
And like I had scholarships and I had FAFSA. I still had to take out a $10,000 loan.
Yeah.
So like, it's not as like, where like if I went to Stan, like my FAFSA all but covers it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if it doesn't cover it, like even the scholarships I had from high school that I got from like the boosters program would have covered the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have spent any money. I would have got the same like social interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And my credits would have transferred.
Yeah, because there is so much value in that. Like, I mean, there's so many times I've gotten jobs based on just people I knew in school. Opportunities like that show that I filmed at that bar, like different things, people that I've been able to use as job references, knowledge I've like gained about things. Like there's so much I've gained from just knowing people and like interacting with people that are outside my regular circle.
Right.
And it's like you can get that, affordably. You don't obviously if you go to like Yale or Harvard, you're kind of entering like a different social atmosphere, but you can gain a lot of benefit at an affordable university. But it's like you also you got to know how to use it. You got to be willing to interact, put yourself out there, be uncomfortable. So
yeah,
it's
I think for me it's just like I don't hate college. Like I'm in college. I'm gonna go to Stan. Like I like college. I just think it's like I know there's people like me that like college. There's also people that hate college. They like technical school or technical school, but they like, something else where it's like, I hate that like through high school and through all school, like elementary, junior high, high school, like it's all pointed towards like the goal is to get into college. Where I'm like, I disagree with that. I think the goal should be to prepare people to live in the real world.
Yeah.
I think that should include being ready for college if you decide that. I think that should also include being ready to go into a technical school.
Yeah.
I think that should also include, hey, if you're just really passionate about cooking and you want to start out flipping burgers and eventually work your way up just through experience to be a chef, school should include should prepare you for that too. Like it just it seems like school is such a like college factory.
Right.
Where it doesn't need to be because like they're and you talk to some teachers like they have some kids for one semester and they know like that kid's not a college kid.
Yeah.
Not like he's dumb or anything like that, but like he already hates high school. Like hates the whole system. And that's what college is. And when you're an adult and you have the option to just not do work without anyone holding you accountable, like that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So like the fact that it's just like, oh, we have all these college prep classes and everything, but we don't teach people how to do their taxes. We don't teach people how to, invest in a long-term IRA or anything like that. Like
there should definitely be, because also like, you said like technical schools, like if somebody really wants to like be a diesel mechanic, also like fast track them to a technical school where they can learn about that too. So like, but there definitely should be more financial education because I mean, so many people don't realize like the vast majority of people are under, they're very like low income. So, and they don't realize it's rigged against them. Like they're built to fail and they have to know how to succeed in the world we live in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The sad part is like anyone working a decent job, and I'm not saying decent job as in you have to have a high school diploma. I'm saying if you deliver pizzas and get paid hourly plus tips, there's no reason you shouldn't be a millionaire by the time you're 65 to 70 years old.
Yeah. Or you mean
no reason
like in your retirement account?
In your retirement account.
Right,
there's no reason you shouldn't have $1 million in total money and assets by the time you're 65 to 70 years old.
But that being said, it's like they also have to have that education to know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The only thing there's no reason
the knowledge.
But there's no reason for them to not do that like fiscally. Like they make enough money. If you start at like I think it's like 21 or 22, putting away $100 a month in IRA, and you just get the average growth of the market, you'll be a millionaire by the time you're like 65 or 70 or like 72 at the latest.
Yeah.
And then if you do any more than that, it becomes even earlier.
Yeah.
But people don't know that. You tell that to people, and I've told that to people, they're like, you're lying. I'm like, no.
Yeah. There was a video I was watching that was explaining like exactly that. And they were showing the difference between investing $100 a month from 20 to 30 and from 30 to 40 and the difference that would make in or no, it wasn't even that. It was if you started at 20 to 30 and kept on going compared to starting at 30 and up and investing like even more from the 30 and up phase. And they were showing like the difference in the growth between if you just start earlier and invest like less. And dude, the difference with how much money you save is just absurd. Like,
and
it's crazy.
I know this because I work a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
Like I get tips, but like I'm not making a ton of money. Like if you're working a minimum wage job, you can, and obviously if you're not like drowning in debt.
Yeah.
Like, cause some people like, oh, they already made the mistake. They have credit card debt. They have all this, all that.
Yeah.
like you can afford $100, and if you can't afford $100 a month, don't go out to eat. Like, don't eat fast food 4 times that month, and now you can.
Yeah.
Like, it's really easy for people to be prepared financially down the road, like when they retire, if they just start. Because, like, how many people have you talked to that are our age that are like, you'll tell them that you have a retirement account. Why do you have a retirement account? You're only 20. You're only 21.
Oh, dude, I'm like just barely starting to realize like the difference it's gonna make if I start saving now.
Right. Like I've had my retirement, I've had my retirement account going since like either like 19 to 20. I think I was 19 when I started it. And I was like, and the whole reason I started it is because like my grandparents started doing it and they showed me the math and I'm like,
yeah, when you look at the numbers,
that checks out.
It's absurd.
And then I'm like, how much you have to, like $100 a month and you can like, and that's like the bare minimum. I'm like,
yeah.
And then I look at like how much my bills are and how much I make. I'm like, $100 a month ain't that much. I mean, I go out to eat like 4 times a week, and that's over $100. Like I can do $100.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you do it, and then now it's like, you think it's gonna be like $100 every month, and then now I'm like, I don't even notice it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just check my account, and I'm like, that's how much money is in there.
Yeah.
And then you look at, especially, I did really well like during COVID because obviously the stock market,
extra pay.
Yeah, so that did really good. So I did even better. Like literally like 20% over average. So I'm like, yep, this is the move.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty like if you have the knowledge initially to realize that, it's like it's so helpful.
Right.
It's just
and it's not, that's the thing, it's not that much knowledge. It's not like you have to be this genius and be smarter than them. You just have to like let someone show you basic math and then go, yes,
yeah,
I want to do that.
But that's the thing. Like in high school, you don't even get a basic education about how to manage your finances. And it's horrible.
You learn how to solve for why, but you don't know like what a long-term stock investment is. You don't know what a Roth IRA is. You don't know what like investing in CDs is. You don't know what like all these things that are very important to like keeping you financially stable in the long term. Like if you use them, you just don't learn anything about.
No, you don't. It's so sad, man. Because like the only people that benefit from that are people that are extremely, extremely tremendously wealthy. And it's like at the expense of people that are just barely hanging on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so terrible. Yeah. But
it's like there's some people that it's like, well, I'm not rich, so I can't invest in the stock market. It's like, and like people will be like, oh, you have an IRA. That's not investing. I'm like, what do you mean that's not? And I have to explain it to them. Like, no, that like, it's just not short because everyone thinks investing and they think day trading.
Right. Yeah.
They think, oh, I put $1 million in, it went up 1%, so I made $100K.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have $1 million, so I can't do that. I'm like, okay, why would you want to do that? Oh, because most of the time, what happens is people invest $1 million and they pull 750K out, and they lose money.
Yeah, I mean, day trading, like, I think people also have the impression that day trading is like, oh, you just put money in and take it out and it gains value. But it's like the people I know that do day trading, they're waking up at like 4 a.m. because that's when, not long after that is when the New York Stock Exchange opens.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's like more than a full-time job where they're just doing research and trying to figure out what's going on and like looking at shares outstanding to see if there's any shorts possibly. And like it's a full-time job because they got to do the research to predict what's going to happen.
And all that work, and it's still like 97% of day traders lose money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like all that work, and you're not guaranteed to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what is not a guarantee, but all but a guarantee is putting your money in a diversified Roth IRA.
Yeah, yeah.
Waiting 50 years and having $1 million.
Yeah.
$2 million. Like,
it's like, even if you don't want to look at individual securities, like you can just invest it all into an ETF, and it's like they make the portfolio for you. All you got to do is just directly pipeline the money into whatever that ETF is, and it's like, yeah, it's a guaranteed return because you're investing in like the decades, not in like days or weeks. So.
Like it's just like you look at math, it's like they say, oh, you need 3 to make a pattern. Well, with day trading, you're trying to make a pattern off of 1 or 2. With long-term investing, where you're predicting decades of, we're predicting off of like almost 100 years of the stock market.
Yeah.
And we're projecting that next 100 years.
Yeah.
So that's taking what? thousands, if not millions of data points to try to observe a pattern versus day trading you're taking 2.
Yeah.
Which is going to be more accurate?
Well, it's just like, yeah, there's so many variables with day trading, and it's like there's so much opportunity to win or lose, but it's like, if you look at the stock market for the last few decades, like it's only going one direction, and it's very straight.
It's never trended down. Like, no.
Like, if the stock market goes down enough that we see any difference in like the decades of the chart, like
you got in a lot bigger problem than how much money
yeah, there's way bigger problems.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand that. Like, if it goes so drastically wrong that the stock market trend over decades is going this way, we're in the apocalypse.
We already got issues.
Like,
yeah,
we're like at that point,
fucking over.
Your money is kindling for a fire.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
camera went out again.
Oh shit!
But it's like it's crazy how much like just people don't know that, and I'm like,
yeah, just leave it off for now.
It's so simple.
Yeah,
but like, not that it's like the thing is, we're not like belittling people for not knowing it.
No,
we're belittling like our education system for not showing people that very simple thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that till like 2 years ago. I was out of high school for like multiple years.
Yeah,
and then it took someone to shake me and be like, "Hey, just because you're making minimum wage doesn't mean you can't invest.
Yeah.
You could literally only work minimum wage for the rest of your life. And even if you don't have $1 million, you got $900K in your bank account and you could live off the interest and live off of $90K a year. And that number is still going to rise in your account.
Mm.
And like, that's not $90K minus taxes. So then it's actually only like no, it's $90,000.
Yeah.
Like, I can live off of that.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, man. I have a quick question. You want to go get coffee after this?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, sweet.
I'm already a little up because I'm getting frustrated about
this. Oh, dude, we're fucking...
I think it's because it's like... I'm very passionate about it because like I see so many people from my circle and like in my family that like don't take care of themselves financially.
Yeah.
When they absolutely have the ability, they just don't get told the knowledge. And then not only that, they don't get told the knowledge for so long, and it's ingrained in them like investing is a rich people thing. Investing is a rich people thing. That when you explain it to them and tell them that they're fighting against you.
Yeah.
You're like, no, literally, how much money do you spend on going out to eat a month? Oh, easily like $400.
Yeah.
If not more. Like, and you're like, okay, how about we only spend $300 on that? Take this $100, put it in this account. Even if you don't start till like you're 30, like you're still going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in a retirement fund.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy because you can still have like the nice things. Like you can go still get alcohol. You can still like smoke and do whatever you do. But if you just don't go out to eat, dude, that alone is like such a big expense.
Yeah.
If you meal prep and like obviously depending on the job, maybe you don't have time, maybe you do, but like
or at
meal
least
prepping is so much better like financially.
And it's like
because it's like you go out to eat, you're spending like $15 minimum. Like 10 if you're going to like a super cheap place. At least that's our like local economy, right? But like, yeah, it's like if you just cut out going out to eat, like that's a tremendous amount of money that you save.
Right. And it's just like people are like, yeah, but and some people always think there's something sinister about the stock market because it's not because they're like it's base, it's they don't understand.
Yeah.
Like that's just our natural instinct for stuff we don't understand. And it's like it's so easy to understand. Like it just that's why I get so passionate about it because I'm like, there's no reason that a person that lived my life growing up can't be a millionaire at 60.
Yeah. I mean, I think what it is like they realize that the game is rigged against them, but they think that also because of that, they like shouldn't have any incentive to participate and try to invest. And it's like
so like because the game is made harder by other people, I'm just not going to play.
Yeah.
Where if you play and say I don't care that they make it harder, I'm going to learn what I need to learn. Like that's what it's like. People go like, upward mobility is a myth in the United States. I'm like, no, it's not.
I mean, yeah,
it's not as like for the average person, it's not as drastic as like people saying you can like, and you can start out at nothing and make a lot of money. On average, that's not going to happen. But you know what you can do? You can start out with nothing and by being upper middle class.
Yeah.
That's totally possible for anyone to do.
Yeah.
That's in like the lower middle class or even like anyone could get a minimum wage job. Anyone can invest.
Yeah. I think what it is like because so many people don't have the knowledge or opportunity to like realize the possibilities of like see what they need to do really early on. Like a lot of people are birthed in a situation where there just is no opportunity and knowledge to know like what to do with their money and how to be financially stable. So because of that, so many people are just kind of like born into a system where they're just not taught any of that. So it's like the upward mobility is extremely difficult for somebody like that. Whereas if people had the knowledge and were like given the tools to understand like what to do with their money, then, you know, it'd be very different.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like with upward mobility, it's like, it's not like once you start attempting it, it's really not that hard. And it's not, there's no barrier.
Right.
The barrier is entering into starting because like, what's the barrier? Well, you need to know how to invest. You need to know what the stock market is.
Yeah.
Neither of those two are things that you'll learn in a public school system, which is what most people are going to be going to if they're of lower income.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you know, thankfully we did have like one or two teachers that would talk to us about it, not through the curriculum, but outside of that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, like you should know this. Like,
I feel like we actually had a lot of really great teachers, honestly.
We had multiple, like and
genuinely wanted to help.
Yeah, like, and like we can name names because it's a good Walsh. Like, like some people were like, oh, I don't like Walsh as much, but like the only reason I knew about like what the stock market was at all is because Walsh talked to me about it.
Yeah,
Alex Ani showed us that like, yo, you can use math and all these other things to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that you like. Make your own, like she made her own freaking operating system for an iPhone because she didn't like iOS and like all that. You can do things with this that aren't like she showed, like her and Walsh literally both showed me multiple times, like, well, this is how I can kind of predict what's going to happen in the stock market. It's not perfect, but like using math and using this, you can do this. Like that's the only reason I knew what it was. Even Viney would talk about it. Like we had a lot of math teachers that would tell us about it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't part of their lesson plan.
Even Cruz, and he was
even
like,
Cruz,
not even
and he wasn't even. He was a history teacher.
Yeah,
well, I guess he was. He also did econ.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah,
econ.
he did. Yeah,
but like still, like the fact that we had teachers that would talk about that.
Yeah,
even though it wasn't in the curriculum, gave us a leg up. Where like a lot of public schools don't even have that.
Yeah.
So like we were privileged a lot more than most people are because we had great teachers that went beyond what their thing was.
They just cared more.
They just cared.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people don't have schools where teachers care.
Yeah.
And that creates that barrier to entry where it's like, well, you can't have upward mobility because you don't even know how to make more money.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, man. Fuck, I feel like there was something else I was going to bring up too. I forget what it was. Yeah, I forget. I don't know. Do we have any you know what? Best Buy. Yeah. I wanted to read this note that this guy gave me. Fucking goddamn it. I dropped my phone. Yeah, so anyways, so what I'm doing is like home theater installations, and this guy gave me this
Nerd
note.
Squad.
Me and
was it the Nerd Squad, the Geek Squad?
Geek Squad.
Geek Squad. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
It's all good. No, that's cool, man. No, you know,
I'm a geek,
cool.
not a nerd, motherfucker.
Yeah, dog, get it right. Dude, so okay, you know the TMG bit, these are Stacy's, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. We went to a client's house that legitimately sounded like that. Like that's how he talked.
No shit.
Dude, this was like he was a really interesting guy, honestly. Like you ever meet people that have like a very firmly positive outlook on life to where like they're like talking and you can feel like the conviction in what they're saying?
Yes, those people need to be protected at all costs.
It's like he was one of those guys, and I was like so fascinated by this guy because I'm like, this dude doesn't question anything when he wakes up. This guy, like, from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep, like this guy knows what he's doing and like why he's living and all that.
I respect those people so much.
He gave me and my coworker this note. The one side said, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. And then the other side in big letters says, what is love? And it says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. And that definitely sounds like a Bible verse, even though it doesn't have it written anywhere on it. But like, man, this guy, like, we're
so
just
wholesome,
super wholesome, and like we were talking.
also true.
Yeah, it was very like he was like definitely he was super like philosophical, right? But he was also real like like how do you even say? Yeah, like these are Stacy's baby, man. Just like cracking jokes, like, you know, talking about like stuff with his wife and this and that, just joking around because she was there too, and like just a real positive guy. And I was like, man, this guy is so interesting. And yeah, I don't know, like it was just one of those weird things where he had such a completely different energy about him. And I was like fascinated. I was like, what do you do? Where have you been? Like, you know what I mean?
Those are the people that pique my interest, and those are the people that I'm like, I wish I could be.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Like, but
like
it just makes you think like life is good.
Yeah.
You know? If they can be that optimistic about it, like life is good.
Super optimistic. Like, it was interesting because even if like some of the things he said didn't quite add up, I was like, it works for this guy. Like, he's living good. Like, you know, they're fine financially. They're happy. Their marriage is good. He's joking around and laughing. Like, I'm like, it works for him. So it's like, it's super fascinating to me because so many people are so like naturally like question a lot of things. They're very unsure and skeptical. But man, this guy, I was like, this dude has no questions about like what he's doing with his life. This dude's firm.
And it's like, I know I've heard them described as like, well, those people just have life figured out. And I don't like that because no one ever has life figured out. You know, it's beyond us.
Yeah.
But what I always like to say is like, they're content with what they do know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like they feel like they've like they understand part of what their purpose is and why they're there, and they understand that like there's also a lot of other stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with what's going on here.
Yeah,
I'm happy with my life. I don't need any more. And they're just like content. Like that's always what I've like strived to be. Like not content as in like I'm not gonna strive for anything else because I'm lazy. But like if everything could go wrong, but I still get this life that I'm living, like I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was super interesting because like, you know, don't get me wrong, I was listening to what he's saying, I'm like, this makes sense, this works for you, and like I was like hearing him out, you know, but I'm also like, my natural state isn't like super content and like firm on things like that. Like I'm very much like constantly questioning things and like a little pissy about stuff, and it's like,
and I am too.
Yeah,
that's why I have so much respect for it. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's just weird to like be around somebody that has like so much conviction about something like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but it was really interesting to be around him. I mean, we're actually going back there because they needed like a speaker system set up, but it wasn't part of the job that we were already there for, so we're gonna come back and do that. So it'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, it was just a fascinating guy to be around. It was one of those things where I was kind of like, I wish I could just sit down and like have a coffee or something and just talk to this guy, not like being on the clock because we had other jobs to do.
Like I just want to pick your brain about life.
Yeah, just kind of like I'm trying to sit down with this guy, talk to him. Yeah. But you know, we had other jobs to do, we got stuff going on, so it's like we had to be on the road, right? But yeah, it was kind of interesting. It's been cool. You meet like a lot of different people so far, and like some of them are really unique like that. Some people are just kind of like, you know, they just come in, do the work, and move on with our day. Some people like, I don't know, it's just interesting because it's like each house is totally different.
Yeah.
And you kind of get like a weird inside look and like the way people live. It's kind of interesting.
It's always weird.
Yeah.
Like, this is not how I live.
Yeah. Even just down to the simple things, like, you know how when you walk into somebody's house and it smells different?
Yeah.
You're kind of like acutely aware of that. It's even that. Like I'll walk into people's houses and I'm just noticing like, oh, it just smells different. Or, oh, like they just don't have a lot of like decorations on their walls. Or some people have like so much. Or like that guy, like that house we went to, they were playing music. And I'm like, oh, dude, all the music was fucking fire. I was like, he was playing like some Marvin Gaye. They were playing like some Mexican music that I don't even know who it was, but I was like, damn, this is pretty good. Like, this is great. They were playing like some, you know, like 50s, like rock and roll type of stuff. Like, it was kind of a variety of music, but it was all real, like solely passionate type of music. I was like, damn, this is cool.
This is a vibe.
Yeah, I was like, I'm super down with this guy's music choice.
Speaking of Mexican music, so me and Peyton recently, well, I'd seen it. Well, no, actually, I hadn't seen it. But I don't know what I'm saying. We recently watched Encanto, that Disney movie.
Oh, okay.
It's about like this family who like got forced out of their home, but then were given a miracle that's like signified by this like lit candle, and they now all get like special gifts. So like one of the 3 daughters of the grandma, the abuela, they all like one of them can heal people when she cooks meals. So like you eat her food and then like whatever is wrong with you like is healed.
Interesting.
The one of them could see the future, and one of them could control the weather. And they had kids, and all their kids had stuff and whatever. Anyways, the soundtrack to that movie is fucking fire.
Really?
And like there's just basic like a lot of it's like Disney songs, English, still fire by the way. I love Disney songs, but like in English, whatever. But there was this one song called I don't want to get it wrong because it's not my first language, so I'm gonna make sure I look at it to say it right.
Yeah.
They did 2 versions of the song. There was one that's like part in Spanish, but like the chorus is in English.
Yeah.
And then there was a version of the song that's just all in Spanish. And both of them are very beautiful. The all Spanish one is called, I'm gonna not pronounce this right, Dos Oruguitas or Oruguitas. I don't know.
Oruguitas. Yeah.
Oruguitas. And then the one in not all English, but mostly English is 2 Oruguitas. And that song, I've been listening to it like nonstop. It's like it's like a very soft, delicate song. It's like the grandpa before he died, like singing to the 3 kids.
Interesting.
And everything. And it's very like, it's just very sweet. And I'm like, oh. And I've just been like listening to it.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been seeing people tweeting about that movie.
So
saying
good.
It's good.
And like, yeah. And this song's been We Don't Talk About Bruno. That one's been all over TikTok.
Oh, interesting.
It was my wedding day.
Huh.
But yeah, I don't want to sing too much of it because of copyright. But yeah,
that one's been they know we're gonna fucking nail it.
Oh yeah.
They might think, damn, is this the original recording?
No, but that one's been all over TikTok.
Interesting.
And then there's another song in that movie called Surface Pressure.
Yeah.
It's the one Louisa sings. She's the big. She's one of the grandkids. She's really strong. That's her gift.
Dope.
And she sings a song called Surface Pressure, and that song's so good.
Nice.
That's like some of these. Any oldest sibling like relates to it hard.
Okay, interesting. I'm a middle child, so I will probably.
No, you should watch that movie though. It's called Encanto.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Do you have Disney Plus?
I think my mom might.
If she does, watch it.
Yeah, I'll check it out then. I keep seeing people tweet about it, and I was like, should I check it out? But I was sort of like, eh. The only time I ever like go out of my way to watch something that I'm like not already interested in is basically like this, when somebody confronts me and is like, yo, you need to watch it. It's kind of the only time.
I'm not gonna say like you need to watch it,
but like the fact that you're telling me right now,
it's really good.
No, I'll have to check it out.
It's like very much like the whole theme of it is like family dynamics, and there's a lot about that. Yeah, which I think everyone like can relate to.
Yeah,
that's been in a family.
Yeah. Sorry, orphans. Damn. Sorry to the Noah family having ass bitches out there. You're not going to be able to watch this one.
Sorry, Batman.
Batman? Oh, yeah. Batman's an orphan. Damn. So Batman, yeah, he'd be like, what is this?
What's a family?
What is family? Yeah, what is family? What is it? Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whenever orphans see like the family friendly on Netflix, like that genre, I'm like, do they like what? What does that mean?
Oh no, are they like, yo, what is this?
Where's orphan friendly, motherfucker?
What does this mean? Yeah, are they like, damn, they're discriminating against the non-family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine, what if there was I bet there's a foster home where they're like, you know, when people try to be too overly sensitive, they're like, I only show these kids that are orphans movies that are about orphans.
Oh, I see.
And they're like, yo, like I can watch other movies. Like I don't need to just watch about orphans.
They're like, no, I understand the concept of like a mom and a dad. I just don't have one.
Like I understand like what it is.
Yeah,
mine are just dead. So
fuck, dude.
If we could stop trying to be like,
dog, a fucking like foster home worker being like, so I don't know if you guys understand what this means, but basically they have a male leader figure in their life that birthed them. They also have a female one, and they came together. And they actually created
and managed to live through your creation.
Yeah.
So
not for that long.
Not for that long. So.
Oh damn, bro.
They're like
They're like-
orphans get into a foster home. They're like, so I'm dad. That's not my name. That's just what I am. I know you don't know that, but like,
I don't know. You don't know what
is
those
like-
things are.
A dad's like a father. Oop, you don't know that either.
Fuck.
Like,
God, it's like
I'm in charge of you, but also
In a
I
legal
love
way.
you. Yeah. It's like just over explaining it. Like, you don't know what a dad is.
They're like, hey,
You're
I'm 8 years
orphan.
old. I still know what the fuck a family is.
Yeah,
hey, fuck you.
In kindergarten, when they have you do like your family portrait assignment, and you just fucking have it blank, just
Oh
you in
my
a fucking
God.
portrait. That's my family.
God damn, that's so funny, but also sad, but kind of
Yeah.
funny still.
Damn, this episode was really wholesome right up until the end.
Yeah, no, we had to get some jokes. I feel like this was a real like serious one.
Yeah,
We had to get some jokes in at the end. Actually, no, we had the psychologist thing a little bit. That was kind of funny.
The psychologist thing was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We need to make it. That'd be a funny sketch.
Being like diagnosing people at a party.
Yeah,
That
or
would be
the
kinda
like the
funny.
Tinder, like you're a psychologist, like and you're just like psychoanalyzing everyone.
Oh,
You're like,
right.
I'm gonna save you.
That could be funny, actually.
What if there's a psychologist that gets in a relationship with like a perfectly stable person and they purposely like break them down to give them like all these like mental problems, and then like afterwards they like build them back up and like
Yeah.
fix it.
It
It's
could
like
be, there's a sketch idea there.
you know that video of what was it? It was like this fitness trainer who did like a documentary of like him like gaining a bunch of weight,
Oh, I
like
don't know.
gaining like 100 pounds and then losing it all and going back to like being fit.
Well, no, I didn't hear about this.
It's like that, but like you're a psychologist and it's
Yeah.
someone's mental health.
Yeah, damn, he's playing games with people's.
We're getting them right
people's,
onto the brink where they're
dome.
like about to commit suicide and then we save them.
Yeah, he's playing games with people. They're
They're like the
head.
Joker when they're trying to make Detective Gordon go insane.
Yeah.
Anyone can become insane.
Yeah.
Just takes one bad day.
Yeah.
Do the killing joke monologue and everything.
Yeah. There's a sketch idea here.
Yeah.
We might have to actually try to sketch this out. It could be funny. Anyways, I have to use the bathroom so bad right now.
All right.
Want to wrap up?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Any last thoughts?
If you don't know what the stock market is, and this is like on a serious note, if you don't know what the stock market is and you want to learn how to invest, like you can literally DM us for info. We'll send you to people who know really good shit.
Mm.
But like if you work a minimum wage job, you can invest long term and you could be set by the time you're 70. And I would highly recommend that everyone do that. And I would highly recommend that everyone learn how it works and not just pay someone that does know how it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my closing
Good
thoughts.
note to end on.
Like
Yeah.
there's no entrance barrier. There's no nothing. It's just if you know how to do it and you could spare $100 a month, do it. Even $50 a month.
Yeah.
Like just do it. There's no reason you shouldn't other than you don't know that it's there. So that would be my final thoughts.
Yeah. Good note to end on. All right, guys. We'll
Thank you
see
for watching this week.
I was gonna say we'll see you next week, but I guess you'll see us next week.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.